Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode, number 136 of the Limelight. I'm your host Fareen here, all the way from Dubai, and I'm a voice coach, podcast coach, and also have written a book on relationship. The name of the book is Before You Chew That Gum and 11 Things You Should Know Before You Get Married, especially for South Asian men and women. And yes, this book is available on Kindle, Amazon.com. It will be available in Amazon India by end of December or January first week. Well, do check it out, okay? Now, let's talk about the guest on the hot seat. She is the founder of NGO Stories and Project Shiksha, and she is organizing an event called the Award for NGOs, which we will be discussing further in the podcast. So, listeners, please welcome our guest, Neha Chawla. Hello, Neha. How are you doing today?
Hi, Farheen. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here.
It's the pleasure to have you on my podcast. So, Neha, before we, talk more about the awards, I would like you to answer this question. What inspired you to start NGO Story?
All right. NGO Story was started off organically. So I was a part of corporate for more than a decade. I started my career, in the IT giant working for HCL Tech, and then moved on to working in hospitality, few startups and tech organizations before, putting my hands into the social sector. And so I was stuck in my hometown during the pandemic lockdown.
Mhm.
And there were these small NGOs who weren't able to come online. It was very difficult for them to function. They didn't know the concept of a website, how to leverage the online marketing tools, and it was really difficult for them, to reach out to more donors, talking about their initiatives. So I started off, with this media channel called as NGO Story, which started to feature the untold stories of nonprofits and talking about their initiatives, their fundraising challenges, so that these small nonprofits, they can get some visibility. And so as a child also, I used to help out my aunt, and so I belong to the state of Jharkhand in a place called Jamshedpur, and wherein my aunt was running a nonprofit, and she was running this nonprofit for the adolescent groups. And I used to accompany her, for the classes, and I think it somehow, stayed in me. And apart from doing the full-time job as well, the full-time corporate job, I was parallelly contributing in the nearby nonprofits, teaching them, and coming up with with various topics, related to mental well-being or menstruation for that matter. And I think the pandemic lockdown organically set the foundation for a space, a much required space, because the nonprofit storytelling is something which is very much required, especially for the small and the mid-sized NGOs. Our country has got more than 3 million nonprofits, but only the big ones are known to people. So people, they have this sense of trust, authenticity for the for the so-called big nonprofits, right? It doesn't mean that the small and the mid-sized NGOs are not doing a good job here, because they are also doing a fantastic job. It's just that their story needs to be brought out. So yes, this is how NGO Story got started. And we started with some couple of nonprofits, and currently we have a network of more than 600 plus nonprofits. And we are working towards empowering them through storytelling. We are working towards kind of giving them a platform like the Impact Talk Show, wherein they can talk about the journey of building their nonprofits, and they can connect with more and more donors, and they can network with more people. And we have also come up with something called as the NGO Awards Summit, through which they will get acknowledgement for the hard work done, for during the COVID relief time. And so yes, slowly, gradually, we are moving towards making it more stronger, more empowering for the nonprofits, and trying to bring out the best of the stories from them. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a great initiative because when I first heard about NGO stories from Andrea, because that's how I got to know you, the channel and the stories and things you are doing, it's really commendable. And to highlight an NGO which is not been on the social media or Google or anywhere, and you're putting them on the spotlight, that's really good. And giving them the platform to showcase their work and, also get sponsors, that's really good.
Thank you, Farheen. And, really looking at, getting more and more nonprofits to be a part of the NGO Story Network. And so writing has always been my passion. And so never thought that, I will be doing social impact storytelling, but I'm very glad that, my passion for the social impact and my passion for writing, somehow I have been able to get both of these things together. And I have been blessed to, have a fantastic team, a very dedicated team, which works day in and out, in terms of, bringing out the best stories from nonprofits and helping them to design, that kind of an ecosystem, not just in terms of recruitment, marketing part of it, but also helping them to connect with the CSR. So now we have introduced another vertical through which we are helping the NGOs connect with the CSRs, so
Hmm.
that the projects on which they are working at this point of time, we should also be able to help them to receive some grants with it.
Right.
So yeah, slowly, gradually, the NGO Story family is becoming stronger, and we are hoping to have more nonprofits on board who are a part of this network.
Yes. And I wish you all the best for all the ventures you have set up, and may you grow and the network grow.
Thank you so much, Farheen. This means a lot.
You're welcome. So now tell me, what gave you the idea, or what is the purpose you felt that the awards should be organized for NGOs?
Right. So last year we did a season one of the NGO Awards, and so while the NGOs were showcasing their COVID relief work, so what we started to do is we started to publish their COVID relief work on the NGO Story social media handles. And then during one of the brief with couple of founders of nonprofits, they told us that we do not have a platform which actually rewards us, which actually acknowledges the efforts what we have done during the COVID relief. So why not to have something like that, which actually salutes our efforts during the pandemic time. And for all of us, the pandemic was difficult, and for the nonprofits it was even more difficult, because for them, they had stopped to work on their on their major initiatives, and then everything was kind of diverted towards coming up with the different kind of food drives, right? It was very difficult. And then during the second wave, the entire focus was more into the oxygen cylinders, trying to help the communities, the marginalized communities, so that they are able to get themselves treated during the second wave time. So they said that it is very difficult for us to execute all of the COVID relief work, and it will be a good idea to acknowledge the effort. So we actually thought over it, and we thought, we felt that why not to conduct something online, an awards kind of a platform, which acknowledges, which salutes the efforts of the nonprofit. And this will actually set the foundation so that they are able to put in more hard work, right? So this is how we started off with the digital awards for the nonprofits. Why digital? Because this had to happen online, this had to happen virtually. And so again, we were doing this for the first time, so my team was not prepared. And we really wanted to kind of get more and more nonprofits on board, trying to generate awareness around them. But then we thought that, okay, let's kind of launch it within this short span of 30 35 days. And during the short span of time, we received more than 100 entries, and we were overwhelmed. And these entries were not just from India, but they were from different parts of South Africa as well. So we thought that, wow, this is something which the nonprofits really need. And acknowledgement is something which any individual, any organization actually requires. So since we were doing it for the first time, hence the initiation and the closure of it literally happened in 30 35 days. And we had the different categories of nonprofits, the NGOs who were functioning into the education space, into the healthcare space, into the women empowerment space. And we had the set of some 7 or 9 awards which were given to the nonprofits, and they were overwhelmed. And they said that, wow, this is something which has never been done in the nonprofit space before, and we would love to be a part of something like this coming in the future as well. So now, since we already conducted one set of awards last year. So this year we thought that, okay, let's do it with some sort of preparation. And the entire team started to work on the NGO Awards Summit, like 6 months back. And so we really wanted to encourage more nonprofits to be a part of it, and hence we collaborated with many outreach partners here. So our outreach partners are majorly social impact organizations like Connect for, Go Barefoot, Edzilla, Mash Project Foundation, to name a few. And so this year we have around 10 outreach partners, and we have more than 200 entries, 200 NGOs who have already applied for the NGO Award Summit. And since this year, we are doing things, planned in advance, hence we are getting more and more nonprofits who are coming on board and, who are being a part of it. And so the season 2 of the NGO Awards Summit, which is a platform to showcase the hard work of NGOs, which is a platform to put the nonprofits' work in spotlight, will be launched virtually in February 2022. And so we will be taking entries up till 20th of December. So 20th of this month, the nonprofits can apply, and there are around 7 nomination categories here. And all of the details Farheen will also be sharing here, on her social media handles. And to know more, you can visit our website as well, www.ngostories.in, on which you will be able to register for the NGO Awards Summit. And we have around 7 nomination categories, catering to the education, women empowerment, healthcare, especially able, to name a few. And we are really looking at saluting the efforts of the nonprofits in each and every category, right? And so if at all an NGO functions as a multi functional kind of an NGO, then they can nominate themselves for more than 2 categories as well. So yeah, so really looking at having more nonprofits on board, and we have a wonderful panel of jury members who are seasoned social impact leaders, coming from different walks of life. And we are really hoping to make this big and a wonderful moment for the nonprofits, so that they can keep this as a token of appreciation. They can keep this as a token to brand the organization. And there are other perks as well. The NGOs who win, they will be getting grants up to 1 lakh, up to INR 1 lakh. And they will also be getting mentoring support, because NGO Story has collaborated with few training organizations as well. So there are many, perks for the nonprofits who will be coming on board. And definitely the certificate of participation will be given to all of the participants. So we are looking at, more and more nonprofits joining hands, being a part of this wonderful NGO Award Summit.
This is spectacular, and yeah, like as I said, it's one of a kind, and people must be appreciated, and also they should be awarded for something what they are doing selflessly, right? So you are doing amazing, and I really wish all the best to you and the awards for NGOs. And whoever is out there who is an NGO, who is handling an NGO, they can go ahead and sign up for this. I will be mentioning all the links and sign up forms in this podcast, and you can check it out.
Thank you, Farheen. That sounds good. And really looking forward to the nonprofits to be a part of it, because if you are a change maker, if you are a social entrepreneur who's trying to touch lives, who's trying to create an impact, the NGO Awards Summit is for you. So just looking
Yes,
forward to seeing more and more be a part of it and getting themselves empowered.
yes, that's more important. Okay, now after all these serious questions, I have something, a fun segment for you. Okay,
All right.
I'll be asking you three random questions. You can answer them in one word or a sentence.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. My first question is, which is your favorite movie?
Okay. That's Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein.
Okay, that's nice. I think one song of it is really, all-time favorite, or I can hear it always on the radio.
Zara Zara.
Yeah, right. Right. Okay. My second question is, which is your one favorite quote which you always refer to?
Be the change that you want to be. I always believe in that. There is no external stimuli, there is no catalyst coming and guiding you, telling you to change yourself, but you are the change. So be the change you want to be. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that was quoted by Mahatma Gandhi.
Mm, yep.
Okay.
Well, I'll have to look into it, Farheen. But, definitely this is something which I always say to people, yeah, that, be the change that you want to be,
Good.
because
Yeah.
a lot of times we have those excuses in life, right? We say
Yeah.
that, okay, since the circumstances were not good, or since, the external stimuli was not good, hence
Mm-hmm.
we weren't able to do this thing. So
Right.
why not to tell yourself to do it, because you are the one, who's responsible for your happiness, for your sadness, for your success, for your failure, everything, how you look at it, right?
Right.
So yeah, so be the change you want to be. Yeah. So I'll
Uh,
have to check whether Mahatma Gandhi said that or not, but yeah, this is what I believe in.
right. So, yeah, Mahatma Gandhi quoted like, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." So maybe,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
So a little bit tweak there, but
yeah,
yes, yes, definitely, and yeah,
yeah.
seeking inspiration from Bapu here. So yeah, okay.
Right, right. Okay, my last question is one food you cannot give up.
Oh my gosh, this is something which I have been working on since a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so firstly to say that Chinese is my favorite. I love Chinese food.
Oh, okay.
I cannot, survive literally, without my noodles, without my chili chicken, and without the soup. So that is something which I really look forward to, and with the full on, aroma flavors, the Chinese flavors, the Indian Chinese flavors, right?
Right.
So this is what I look at, and it is also there on my, goals for 2022, that I have to give up on it,
Oh,
right? Because, but yes, Chinese is something which I cannot resist. So just love Chinese food. So to all the Chinese lovers there, you are doing a great job, because I'm there with you.
I'm there too. I love Indo Chinese food too.
Oh wow, that's wonderful. And I have this thing that if someone doesn't like Chinese, I'm like, how you cannot like Chinese? Yeah, I mean Chinese.
Yeah,
Like,
something or the other, it should be Manchurian or fried rice.
right,
Yeah.
there's something there, and people are like, okay, so if I do not like Chinese, so it means that I'm not the right person. I'm like, no, 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 you you need to like Chinese. That is very important. So yeah,
Right. All the answers which you gave were amazing and they were fun to listen to.
it was fun being here, Farheen.
Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to have you on my podcast, so yes. Cool.
Yeah, this was a long pending one, and I'm glad we did that.
Yes. Now we are heading to the last segment of our show where I would like your advice for our listeners.
So there is something which I want to share with all of you, and I am a mom of two kids, and a multitasking mom, apart from being a corporate veteran as well, and then now being one of the social entrepreneurs, being a part of the social impact ecosystem. And also I have been a published author, a two-time published author, and currently I'm working on my third book. So while I'm wearing so many hats here, I'm trying to kind of manage my time, and give my time here. I always have this thing that there is one lifetime, and just try to achieve whatever you have to. Do not park your things, right? So if you are doing one particular thing, for example, if you are a full time corporate veteran, and you want to pursue playing guitar for that matter, then why not to do that, right? You should be able to take out time for yourself. There is one lifetime, and chase your dreams and believe in it. It is very important to believe in your dreams, because I had my corporate friends who told me that this will be a very big step, what you're doing in terms of leaving corporate, and that too in the peak of my career, and then starting off in a field which is like totally new, and being a part of social impact. So all of us know that it's very difficult to do business with impact, and I really wanted to impact more lives, thinking that we should be able to reach out to more and more people, through the concept of NGO story. So I believed in it, I had faith in it, and hence today we have a network of more than 600 plus organizations, and we have an impact potential of more than 3 lakh lives. So there are people who look up to us, and that happens only once you believe in yourselves. So, to all of the listeners here, never give up on believing in yourself, right? If you feel that, okay, I should be able to pursue this particular passion, let's say, maybe after a couple of years, or, you keep on delaying it, you have to say that thing to yourself that you will be able to find time. If I was able to find time, to do so many things, I'm sure that each and every one of us should be able to manage our time there, should be able to find passion there. And that passion element is very important. If you're passionate about something, trust me, you will be able to take out time to pursue that. So just tell yourself purely that I like to do this thing and I will do this thing. And next minute, you will be able to do it. So just believe in yourselves, because this is what I have done. And my little piece of advice, my 2 cents to all of you, that please believe in yourself and keep the fervor, keep the passion. It could be in any idea which you're thinking of, it could be in your relationship, it could be in any walk of life. Keeping that warm, keeping that passionate is very important. I think that is the first step to success. You may or may not be successful, but at least you will not have the regret that you never tried, right? So keeping up the passion and taking the first step is something which all of us should put our heart and soul into, and I'm sure that we will be able to reach a mile there with that.
Yes, that was a spot on advice. I loved every bit of it. And believing in yourself and doing what you want to do, it's like those are the golden words. Because, yeah, being busy, I know people give priority to work and family, but what about your passion? What about your happiness, right? So if you have the will, you can surely do that.
Correct, absolutely.
Right. Well, Neha, it was a great conversation with you, and thank you for taking time from your busy schedule. I know you're really, really busy, packed up all the time, and you did this podcast with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Farheen, for having me. And thank you so much, listeners. It was great to be on the show, Farheen. And keep up the good work. You're doing a wonderful work, bringing out the stories from people. And, that is the beauty, trying to take the stories to more and more people. So thank you so much for having me on board.
You're welcome, and thank you once again. Okay, listeners, if you like this episode, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And this podcast will be on 8 different podcasting platforms. Also, snippets of it will be available on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all around my blog. So, thank you for listening, and you have a great day ahead. Stay safe, stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.